Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are doing week 3 of Shop My Stash. And usually I start these videos with eyeshadow palettes that I use during the week, but surprisingly this week I did not use no eyeshadow. I had a very long and busy week and I mainly just focused on face makeup. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the primers that I actually used this week. I did have these 3 primers. I have the Touch and Soul No Pore Blend Primer, Catrice Prime and Fine Fresh It Up Moisturizing Primer, and the Smashbox Oil and Shine Control. So I love all of these primers. This one I mainly use it on my T-zone, and then these two I did use them for the rest of my face. For foundations, I did use L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear, as well as the Huda Beauty Fox Filter Foundation in the shade Toasted Coconut 240N. Now, I did mainly use this foundation this week, and I did pair it up mainly with these 2 primers. So this foundation is more of a fresh, kind of a little slightly dewy finish. So I wanted to do more of a like smoothing and pore filling primer and an oil control just in case I did get a little oily. So this time around was the first time that I actually used this foundation and this primer together, and guys, it was a beautiful finish. I'm saying beautiful because I lasted at least maybe 8-9 hours and my foundation looked like I had just applied it. It looked so fresh and so smooth throughout the whole day. Even after like 8-9 hours, my skin, my face just looked so nice. It didn't even look like creasing. It didn't look cakey. It didn't look dry like it was coming off. It was just beautiful. It stayed on so well. Even for the oily T-zone that I have, this definitely worked. I love this primer and it definitely helps a lot with controlling your oils. For the Huda Beauty Fox Filter Foundation, I did use it with the Catrice Prime and Fine Moisturizing Primer and the Smashbox Oil and Shine Control. I didn't really like this. I used to love this foundation when it first came out, but as I started getting into more makeup, I noticed that I don't love this anymore. I feel like this is a little on the drying side, a little on the heavy side as well. It does kind of sit on my spirals a little, and I don't know, I just feel like after maybe 5-6 hours of wearing this foundation, it starts to look kind of like bad on you. It doesn't look fresh the way this one does, and it just looks like you need to take off your makeup. Okay, for concealers, I did use 2 concealers. I used a Revlon Candid Concealer. I like this concealer a lot. I love that it has a like kind of like a wand dome applicator. It's really nice. The shade is a little warm for me, but I could definitely still be able to wear it even without like foundation, like just cover up any acne scars or something like that. This is really nice. I would say more like a medium coverage, and I like it. I like it a lot. It's drugstore and it's affordable. Finally, I did use the Shop Miss A AOA Studio Liquid Concealer in the shade Fair Ivory. For the Shop Miss A Liquid Concealer, I wasn't a big fan of it. The shade is definitely very light for me. I feel like you definitely have to build it up. It's definitely a very light coverage concealer. I don't really recommend it, but I mean, it's only like $2, so I mean, you're not losing a lot of money. Maybe in the future I'll repurchase this with a different shade, but it's not like a huge recommendation right now. For powders, I did not get to use the ColourPop No Filter Setting Powder, but I have used it before and I love this powder. It's really nice. It's definitely a translucent like shade. There's no flashback. It's very comfortable. The Juno & Co, I did get to use it. I did still have a little bit of like creasing, but it's still a really nice powder. I definitely will continue to use it at least for the rest of my face. But it's definitely worth a shot to try out. I really do like it. Maybe not for under the eye for baking, but I do like the powder. For face powders, I did use the Milani Prep Set Glow Illuminating Transparent Powder, as well as the Too Faced Peach Blur Finishing Powder. I like both of these. I feel like this one definitely helps with kind of blurring out your like makeup, making it a little bit more like filter looking. I did get to use it with the L'Oreal as well as the Huda Beauty one. Both worked really well. I also did use the Milani along with both of them, and I feel like you definitely do get a really nice finish. With the L'Oreal, I think you do get a little bit more of like a dewier finish, but it's definitely a very, very comfortable powder. It's not like super like shimmery or like that you're going to be like super glowy. It's really nice. It gives you like a really nice like hint of illumination, but not excessive. Okay, so now moving on to blushes. I did get a good use of these three Tarte trios. I really love these, and I'm so happy that I actually got my hands on them. I think they may still be available at Sephora, maybe Macy's, I'm not so sure, but I love them. If you guys can find them, I highly recommend them. The only thing I don't like about them is that they can be a little dirty. Your fingerprints can definitely stay on the packaging, but I mean, that's just me being picky. I did use a lot of the shades. Let me show you. So I did use this one. I used a lot of the blushes actually. I did not get to use this one, but this one I definitely did use. For the rose gold one, I think I used all of the shades in here. Yes, I did. This is like my favorite one. Let me see if I could open it. So I definitely used the highlighter super much this week. Like, it was just probably my favorite one. I did use a blush, and I also did use this bronzer, but I used it as a blush, and I loved it. I'm so happy that I tried that out. But I do love this little like rose gold one. It's probably my favorite little trio. And for the dark black one, I think I only used this shade right here. This one is a little too bright for me right now. And then this one is a little bit too dark for my shade for it to be a highlighter. Likely I'll be using this one for like eyeshadow. But I love these so much. I did not use my Essence Matte Touch Blush. I am actually going to keep this for the next week's rotation. It's a really pretty blush in the shade Peach Me. I finally got to use the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. This is in the shade Bronzer, and I like it. I really did like it. I was able to find a brush that really worked with this bronzer, and it's this Aesthetica P12 brush. I got it in my BoxyCharm maybe a year ago, but I really like this bronzer now. Another highlighter that I also did use was the Maybelline Master Chrome in the shade 100 Molten Gold. It's a really nice highlighter. It's I think maybe like $10, but it's so good, and you definitely get a lot of product for the price. Definitely a really good drugstore highlighter. For brows, I use the same stuff again. It's like my third week. Definitely going to switch them out this week though. I just feel like I'm kind of getting tired of using this pomade. I feel like you probably guys are tired of me using it too. So I'm gonna switch out my brow products finally this week. For mascara, I did use the ColourPop mascara in the shade Black on Black. It's a really good mascara. I love the wand to this. The only thing I don't like about it is the way it comes off. Once you wash your face, you have two black eyes. So it's kind of hard to completely remove this mascara. You have to really like clean your eyes over and over again, but it's a really good mascara. I love how it leaves my lashes like nice and long and has a lot of volume. I have these two in my rotation. I did not use this one at all, but I did use the MAC Prep and Prime. I actually did go a little bit past where I was at the beginning of the month. But yeah, I did use this one. I really like this one. It just melts everything nice together. It's not like dewy, it's not matte. It's just a very comfortable settings. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and switch out my stuff, and let's see what we pick for next week. Okay, so I'm first gonna choose some products out of this like little panning 2020 box, whatever you want to call it. I'm gonna go ahead and grab this foundation. This is the Revlon Candid Natural Finish Foundation. I'm going to keep the e.l.f. Cosmetics Dewy Mist. That way I could use it with this one, because this one's a little bit more on the like natural matte finish. And then I'm also going to change the MAC for the Morphe setting mist. And then for concealer, I am going to try to use my ColourPop. And then for hydrating primer, I'm going to use the Wet n Wild Water Drop Primer in Cucumber. And I think that's it. For powder, I think I'm going to keep the ColourPop one just because I didn't get to use it last week. Okay, so since I already have a natural semi-matte foundation, I want to go for more of like a dewier like finish. So I think I'm going to use the Pat McGrath Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Foundation. I have it in the shade Light Medium 10. Since I got the Wet n Wild Hydrating Primer, I'm going to go for one that is matte and one that is pore filling. Let's use this little sample. This is a Too Faced Primed and Poreless Face Primer. This one's going to be for my pore filling, and then one that is going to be mattifying. Let's use a Shop Miss A Wonder Skin Mattifying Primer. Now, since I'm going to be putting away the Shop Miss A concealer, I want to grab one more concealer. Let's go for my Tarte. I'm going to use my Tarte Shape Tape in the shade Light Neutral. And then since I'm going to put the Juno powder away, I'm going to grab one more setting powder. I'm gonna use a Thrive. I haven't used this one in a very long time. So I'm gonna go ahead and use that Essence blush that I didn't get to use last week, but I do want to go ahead and grab a new blush palette that I have from Smashbox. This is the Cali Kissed blush and highlight palette. So I'm going to use this one as a blush, and then I'm going to go ahead and grab one more highlighter just to kind of use up my stuff a little bit more, since I already have some highlighters in this palette. So for mascaras, I am gonna use, let's see, I'm gonna use this Too Faced. I want to finish this one. I feel like it's gonna start to dry out very soon, so I'm gonna go ahead and use this mascara. Since I'm already in my little drawers, I'm gonna go ahead and switch out my brow gel. I am going to use my ColourPop Brow Boss Gel in the shade, I think it's Clear. Yeah, Clear. I don't really like this, but I do want to use it up. And then for my brows, I'm actually going to use a Benefit Brow Pencil. Precisely my brow pencil in the shade, I think it's number 6. Yeah, number 6. I love this pencil. It's like my favorite brow pencil. So I'm going to be using these two together for my brows this week. So now I need 2 bronzers. I am going to use this new one from BH Cosmetics. It's the Brilliance Bronzer in Cocoa Cutie. And I'm also gonna go ahead and use this one from Fenty Beauty. This one is in Private Island. Now I need to get 2 face powders. I'm gonna grab one matte and one that is like a little like illuminating, I guess. I'm gonna grab this one from Essence, All About Matte Fixing Compact Powder. This one is definitely a very, very good matte powder. And then for illuminating or like natural, I think I'm gonna go with the Maybelline Fit Me in 130 Buff Beige. So I do want to grab one more highlighter from my single highlighters, just to use something else and as an alternative. I think I'm gonna go with this Tarte one. This is Tarte in Sparkler. Alright guys, so that is it for choosing some new makeup. I will go ahead and be using these items the next couple of days, and I'll see you guys in next week's Shop My Stash to see what I think about the products. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next week.